You're right, guys. Welcome to Football and Fitness United. I'm James, and we're here for a match reaction of the Manchester Derby. Finished Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. I'm here with Carlos. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I've been better after watching that. Had to watch 90 minutes of us struggling. Listen, first thing, no leading questions, just general thoughts on the game, mate.
Yeah, general thoughts. I'll say it was a weird one because it was like we made a lot of mistakes leading up to the majority of the goals. Like even the first one, it was just a mistake in midfield. Actually, it was on an attack actually, and we made a mistake up there up top, and then the midfield just seemed like it was just empty. I would say probably like three of the six, probably four actually, we made a mistake. Even on with I think the Ericsson one, when De Bruyne was on the wing, even the Fred one as well when he was on the wing as well. So it was just basically our mistakes. If we put the ball out, there would be no goals there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a strange one. Like, obviously, you make mistakes in football matches, but that's what very good teams do, right? They punish you for your mistakes.
It's punishing mistakes, exactly.
Yeah, we'll start off by speaking about Manchester City, and we will come on to United later on. But yeah, they punish mistakes. Just how good is that team?
Yeah, City. To be honest, I've got a football group chat, and then a lot of them was like, "Oh, Haaland's not really going to do much." I was like, "Trust me, Haaland's going to bully the league, mate. I'm telling you." Like, I was so feeling when City got him. I was like, "No. They're literally just going to bully the league." Like, that was the missing piece. That's why Pep wanted Kane, because he knows he needed that point up top where they can just basically just whip the crosses in, and he's there. Just literally just there. Don't need to even do link up plays. Just whip the crosses in, and he's going to be there. Literally, all three of his goals are just all from crosses.
Like a lot of the goals he scored, not necessarily today, but in the league in general and in the Champions League, some of them are unstoppable. Like the one in the Cancelo, the one with the outside of the foot that he's like, like, how do you stop that? Like, and if you put so much effort onto stopping Haaland, you've then got
the rest of the team.
Bruyne, Cancelo, Phil Foden, who got 3
goals. That's why Foden scored 3, because the point was like, we got to stop Haaland. And then it was weird because I thought Tom was going to do a bit more of a job on De Bruyne, but De Bruyne just literally just ran through the midfield like no one was there. And Ericsson, he couldn't control, like he couldn't handle De Bruyne. Like he just couldn't handle the strength and pace of him. It was crazy.
Yeah, if you look at all the games that we've played well in so far, like Ericsson's had a huge influence, right? And he just wasn't able. Yeah. He wasn't able to get a grip of the game at all, and credit goes to City for that. But then there's also some fault with United and maybe Ten Hag with that. Do you think he got his selection wrong today when the lineup came out? What were you thinking?
I had a feeling he was going to keep the same team. It's easy to say if the team was wrong, but I don't feel like the team was wrong. I don't know what he could have changed in there. What McTominay, Casemiro, that's about it, really. Martial was just come back. He's not fit. Ronaldo's definitely, he was never going to start that game unless we had 0 attackers. He was never starting that. Fred, if Fred started, it would have been the same thing. It would have been exactly the same thing, mate. The only thing I could have said is maybe Casemiro. When he came on, he did calm the whole thing down where the passes was going off. McTominay was missing for like 60, 70 minutes. He was, I don't know where he was, mate. Like, this is what I say a lot. He's the type of guy that will put in like 3-4 good performances in the season, and the rest of the season he's missing. Like, he's gone. Watch the next game. He's gonna be exactly the same thing.
He could do. The thing is, right? So we signed Casemiro for all this money, and he's arguably top 5, top 3 CDM in the world, right? He's obviously very good. But when he's come on so far, he's not showed enough. And McTominay's been good. So if you're Erik ten Hag, you're thinking, I can't really drop Scott because he's playing well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe he needed to see a performance like that to be like, you know what? It's Casemiro's chance now, because Scott's actually dropped, well, a clanger of a performance. So he's dropped that. I've got this option now. You know, he's had a few weeks to work with the team. Let's try that. Maybe that's the route he has to go down now.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like he's just waiting for that moment to drop certain players. Like, even with Shaw and the stuff like that, he waited for that moment. He said 2 games in, he's like, nah, he has to come out. You know, even if McTom continued how he was, like I think he start the first 2 games, or he started the first game. I think he started the first game, but he didn't start the second one. And then after that, he's been starting. But yeah, if he continued from the first game into the third, fourth game, he was never going to start. Casemiro would have came in straight away. So he's just waiting for his moment to basically, it's time to get him in there, integrate him into the team.
Yeah, so talking about like the first couple of games, obviously really tough against Brighton and Brentford, and then Ten Hag kind of had a word. He went on a bit of run with them at training, and like obviously managed to turn it around. We've obviously had a big negative result today. Like, how does Ten Hag rally the troops? What does he do going forward to try and turn this round? Because a lot of the fans aren't happy today. So how does he turn this round?
Yeah, I would say he's basically just sitting them down, showing them what went wrong, and just basically give them a bollocking, really, because it seemed like when it was like 3-0, it seemed like they just couldn't be bothered after that. I saw Bruno, he stopped pressing. He's like, yeah, no one else is doing it, I'm not doing it. Sancho couldn't. Sancho was poor. Rashford, he couldn't even string a pass. He made a couple of mistakes rolling for the Man City for chances as well. Sancho couldn't link up today either. The only one that could really say was good is Anthony, really. Everyone else is a bit.
Yeah, this is the issue I see, right, with United fans in general, because I look at it and I think whenever we gas up our own players, we're gassing them up in the bubble of Manchester United, right? So when we're talking about Sancho playing well or Rashford playing well, we're talking about in Manchester United's bubble. So when people can't believe that Sancho hasn't got an England call up, and they're not thinking about like Man City who are second in the league or Arsenal who are top of the league, it's like that's why Foden and Saka are getting in ahead of him. Like, it's not to do with like just individual performance. It's down to team performance and what you bring to that as well. And just because you're performing well in a team that's fifth in the league doesn't mean you're going to get in ahead of someone that's performing well in a team that's first or second in the league. I got slammed. I got slammed on Twitter ages ago because it was England. It was like start one, bench one, sell one, Saka, Foden, Sancho.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And literally, I said start Foden, bench Saka, and sell Sancho. And I like Jadon Sancho, but I also appreciate the qualities of the other two players. And all the replies were, Foden's not good. Foden's only good in that team. Like, he's no good elsewhere. And I'm like, trust me, I know Phil Foden's coach from when he was a youngster. He says he's the most talented person he's ever worked with. He broke all kinds of records at like 14. He says he's technically unbelievable. And he's proven it in a Man City shirt.
You wouldn't today. Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't think he's English. The way he plays, you wouldn't think he's English. He's like, we even had a discussion as well in the group chat where we were talking about Foden and Saka. Because I think it was last season where I think Foden won Young Player of the Year, I think it was. Yeah. And obviously, people like to bring up GA and stuff like that. But Foden, for me, is clear Saka. Like, he's just a different level, mate. He's different level, man. I think you won't see Saka banging in a hat-trick against United. There's no way. Score one, but you ain't banging in a hat-trick.
Well, he scored one, but we scored three, didn't we? So it didn't really matter at the end of the day. So moving on to United a bit more. Obviously, we've covered negatives there. Was there any positives at all today for Man United?
We did do obviously second half they stepped the foot off the gas. So you did see a bit of play, like a bit of style. You did see obviously team passing, a bit of pressing here and there. But the only positive I can say is individuals, really, like Anthony and who else? Casemiro when he came on, and obviously Martial, he done well. But yeah, the back foot. To be honest, Shaw was a bit shaky when he first came. Like 30 seconds, he came on and he's like hesitant to even touch the ball. I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Just touch the ball. And then I think Foden went in and obviously took a shot. But Shaw, he actually grew into the game after a while. Fred, he actually done well. But it's one of the ones where because City already took their foot off the gas. You can see like a few players going into the game, but if the same players that came on started, you don't know. You don't know what it could have been. It could have been exactly the same result. Then we could have been like, oh yeah, the guys that came on like Sancho, Malacia, etc. played well. They should start next game. You know, so it's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, mate. We were always going to come on afterwards, and people were always going to say these players shouldn't have started. Casemiro should have started. Ronaldo or Martial should have started. etc., etc.
Yeah, there was no way. Yeah, there was no way Ronaldo was going to start.
No.
Casemiro, there was obviously everyone wants Casemiro to start because he's 70 million, etc. But he will get it. He will start, but I want him to start obviously with a team that's already like in a winning team, not obviously the team where we played with Real Sociedad. I don't want him to play in a team like that because it's more like he's like one of the main people to actually drag the team. He's not the type of person to do that, So you could obviously see that he was rusty, game time, etc. But if he's integrated into this team, you will definitely see like the Casemiro that's at Real Madrid, 100%.
Yeah, agreed, man. Well, coming to the end of a really tough day, so I'm going to end it there because I don't really want to talk about United much more. I've done it for a long time, but big up yourself for coming on. Just before we go, is there anything you want to say in terms of like plugging your own socials, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah, so Instagram, saying the name up there, Ace Adonis with 2 S's. Twitter, exactly the same. I'm literally started up Twitch as well, like gaming. So I've been doing that, and that is Ace Adonis. Actually, let me check the name of that quickly.
Yeah. No rush at all. So what's your like? What's your gaming? Is it football game, shoot gaming? What kind of like?
Mate, I play. I'm a very versatile gamer, so I'll play football, shooting.
Yeah. It's like, big on Twitch, right? Like I don't really.
Yeah, so a lot of
it's huge, right?
Yeah, so I literally just expand on loads of different games, like zombie games, all that stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my Twitch is Ace Adonis, exactly the same there, but 50 at the end.
Okay. So Ace Adonis on Insta, Twitter, Ace Adonis 50 on Twitch, if you guys are over there. But yeah, it's been a long day. So cheers, Carlos. Thanks a lot for coming on.
No problem, bro.
Wish you all the best. Cheers, man. And yeah, I've been James. He's been Carlos. This has been Football and Fitness United, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.